Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Stacey and I help women heal after an affair, after they've ended it. So if you ended the relationship but still feel stuck emotionally, if you're still missing him, thinking about him, or constantly feeling torn inside, this video is for you. Today I'm going to walk you through 3 clear signs you may still be emotionally tied to your affair partner. Even if the affair ends, say it's technically over, but you still feel a connection. Now remember, there's no shame. This is not a shame zone, just truth, compassion, and hope, of course, because I've been there. So let's get into it. So sign number 1 is obsessive thoughts or fantasies. And this is what kept me stuck for 3 years. The first sign is obsessive thoughts or fantasies about your affair partner. You may catch yourself like daydreaming, replaying old memories, imagining what could have been or what it would be like running into him and talking to him again. You might check his social media or wonder what he's doing. Even if you haven't talked to him in weeks or months, he still takes up space, excuse me, in your mind, especially in moments of loneliness, stress, or conflict in your marriage. These thoughts they're normal, and they aren't just habits. They're often signs of a soul tie, a spiritual connection, an emotional attachment that hasn't fully been broken. So there's a deeper issue why we can linger in this place. It's like your brain is still logged into the relationship and the emotional bond hasn't caught up with your decision to end it, which is completely normal because our thoughts affect our emotions. Now, this doesn't mean you're weak. It just means there's healing work that needs to be done to prevent you from getting stuck and helping you move forward. Sign number 2 is emotional withdrawal from your spouse or your life. So the second sign is emotional withdrawal, especially from your spouse, your kids, maybe your faith, your friends, your hobbies. You might find yourself struggling to feel joy or connection. You could be numb or detached during intimacy with your husband, easily irritated, or just completely checked out from everyday life, feeling like your heart is somewhere else, even though you're physically present. You just, I'm just in survival mode. This is often because your emotional energy is still tied up in the affair. There's no part of your heart that hasn't, or let me say this, there's a part of your heart that hasn't come back home yet. And here's the hard truth. You can't fully show up where God wants you now if your heart is still wrapped up in what was. And that's where I got stuck. I tucked him in a little spot in my heart and I would pull him out when I needed it. But here's the hope. When you start to grieve, release, surrender that tie, emotional intimacy can begin to grow again, first with God and eventually with your spouse and family. Sign number 3, you still feel like he gets you. This is huge for me. The third sign is that you feel like he was the only one who truly understood you. You may tell yourself things like, he saw the real me. He accepted me for who I was. He made me feel alive. I could be myself with him. There was no pressure. I never had that kind of connection with my spouse, or I'll never have that connection again. These beliefs are powerful because they're rooted in emotional needs. And often those needs were very, very real and maybe still are. Maybe your marriage was a lonely place. Maybe you grew apart. Maybe you were feeling unseen or unwanted or emotionally neglected in the relationship. But here's the danger. When you start to equate being seen with being saved, you give your heart to someone who was never meant to carry it. The external validation becomes more important. You're still tied when your identity and value feel attached to how he made you feel. So true healing begins when you start letting God redefine what being seen really means, which is hard, but possible. So let's recap the 3 signs you may still be emotionally tied. So you constantly think about him on replay, old memories, fantasies. You feel emotionally disconnected from your life and your relationships. You still believe he was the only one who truly saw you. If any of those felt like a gut punch, I want you to know it's possible you're stuck, but you're not too far gone. And this pain doesn't disqualify you from healing. It actually reveals that there's more healing to take place. So I have created a free guide for you, and it's how to manage the withdrawal phase, and it's on my website. Check it out. It's going to give you some great tips and some things to think about that can help you start moving forward. You can download it below. If you feel like you need more help, more hands-on, I offer one-on-one private coaching sessions, which you can have a link to my calendar down below. Sign up with me today. You can rebuild your heart. You can heal your heart, rebuild your life. Just know that you're not alone and God is not done with your story. I hope you found this helpful, and I will see you in the next video.